watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Immigration crisis UTVS News in Espanol has been covering is keeping the White House busy, but it's the hundreds of children left in the limbo that has been raising the debate regarding solutions to solve this problem. Emilio Ramos has been covering not just the crisis we were talking about today, but immigration reform here in Minnesota.
Emilio, have there been any improvements towards a possible solution?
I don't know how else to say that, but there seems to be a battle between the president and Congress, all while thousands continue to cross the U.S.-Mexico border, running away from violence, crime, corrupted governments, and extreme poverty. Many of them women carrying their children for hundreds of miles, desperate to make it across the border. Take a look at part of this report from CNN.
Petrona brought her son Rudy illegally to the U.S. not for a better life, but simply a chance to live.
What do you want for your family?
Juntos, sí. To live safe, she says. Guatemalan gangs had threatened to kidnap her toddler unless she paid them. Guatemalan gangs fund themselves with drugs and kidnappings, de facto rulers in some towns. They'd already broken both the legs of Petrona's father, she says, and killed another child in the family. So she ran.
That's just one of the many stories across the border searching for opportunity. President Obama spoke about the immigration crisis Wednesday with the Texas governor Rick Perry, who has criticized the president for the way he's been handling the situation. Comments came after a close meeting with the governor as the president is urging the Congress to take action.
The challenge is Congress prepared to act, to put the resources in place to get this done? Another way of putting it, and I said this directly to the governor, is, are folks more interested in politics or are they more interested in solving the problem? If they're interested in solving the problem, then this can be solved. If the preference is for politics, then it won't be solved.
President Obama is asking Congress to approve nearly $4 billion in emergency funds to deal with this situation.
Well, my problem with it is 1.8 billion of it, so the bulk of it, when you remove the fire suppression funds, that's about $600 million. Vast majority of it goes to HHS, which has no role at the border at all. In fact, it's only charged with taking these children and warehousing them and then settling them throughout the country.
Both parties want to know what exactly the president wants to do with the money before they approve it. The Texas governor does think the solutions are an additional 1,000 National Guard troops, surveillance drones to track human trafficking and drug trafficking, and the third solution would be to modify the catch and release policy enforced by the administration. The discussion to solve the problem goes back and forth from Democrats to Republicans, some trying to make others understand and realize children are severely affected in this.
The supplemental goes a very long way to resolving many of the challenges that are there, including sending an important message that America is a great country and our greatness is about being humanitarian and stopping trafficking and all that. But also we won't be taken advantage of by using that good bill, our good nature, for people to exploit the situation.
A lot going on down at the border, but in the meantime, the fight for a reform continues all across the nation, and here in Minnesota, immigration activists are not slowing down. Though the chances of Congress passing immigration reform this year are low, the group is making steps to improve their relationship with the law and with law enforcement. Last week, La Asamblea de Derechos Civiles had a meeting with the Stearns County Sheriff John Sainer. In that conversation, the group wanted to make sure the county follows up the orders of not detaining undocumented immigrants for their legal status. At least these are the measures that the county administration will follow.
The reason why is because Hennepin and Ramsey County have announced that they will stop working with ICE, or actually honoring their request, to detain people for immigration issues. So that means that our people will not have to fear any longer these ICE detentions.
The same thing.
But not only for the immigrant community, I think it should be a relief for all taxpayers because the money was being spent incarcerating innocent people, many of them innocent people.
I spoke with the sheriff yesterday on the phone, and he says this was the first time he had a conversation with a group this large. He says he appreciates their time and thinks, and he said, in quote, "The communication that we started is the key to something good. All 87 Minnesota counties are expected to do the same and work together." I'll have more information on that as it becomes available. La Asamblea de Derechos Civiles for 30 minutes and talked about their mission and their stories, which seems to be their strongest weapon. You can catch that entire show today at 5:30 p.m. right here on UTVS right after the news. That will be in Spanish.
Emilio, you have been talking to these folks since the start of the Spanish newscast, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting.
It will be, and if for those that tune in to UTVS News en Español, I encourage them to tune in just a few minutes and watch that special.
Thanks, Emilio.